In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, glory to Jesus Christ. Glory forever. Christ is risen. Indeed, he is risen. Short video, just a few quick pastoral words for everybody. I'm trying to get people to, let me rephrase that. I'm offering to people an opportunity to come back to church here, thanks to our Archbishop giving us some room to start bringing people back to church. But I'm wondering, people have been slow to sign up. We have a few slots. Sadly, we don't have many. That may change. We have at least 5. We might be able to accommodate more people depending on if I know a larger group needs to be at church on a given Sunday. Some of our families are bigger than 5, so we can make that work. I just need to know if you want to come. But I just wanted to say a couple words about coming back to church, and I want to alleviate any fears if possible, and maybe encourage you a little bit. It's been a really strange season for us being told, don't come to church. We've been told that over and over again. Don't come to church, stay out of the building, wash your hands, stay away from other people. All these things that are not natural to us. And now we're being told, okay, sign up, come back to church. And some churches, they can have 20, 40, 50 people in their church buildings. Of course, those buildings are accustomed to 200 or 300 people being there. In our case, we have basically 5 extra people can be here besides the skeleton crew. But like I said, we can play with those numbers a little bit to make sure we can get more people in and reduce our crew when we need to. Maybe you're having a hard time coming back. Maybe it's hard to get over this period where you've been away from church. I want to say it this way. I think there's probably some fear about coming back to church for some people because they are concerned about the coronavirus and being in a small room. I really understand that. I feel very sensitive to that while I'm here serving. When people are here, I tend to wear a mask whenever I possibly can. Those who aren't serving and singing, they're wearing masks. It's a big deal, it's an issue. Beyond that too, maybe there is also some resistance to wearing a mask or doing some of the other things that we're doing, and I can't really help those things because our bishop has said that's what we have to do, so we have to work within those things. Maybe there is some, and I want to address this particularly, maybe there's some real, and I say this nicely, laziness about wanting to come back. I really get that. I get that probably more than I get almost anything because it's easy to get comfortable with a new situation. We were live streaming Vespers from my little corner chapel in my office, my family and I, and it was really nice. It was nice to sing with my family, and I'd see your names pop up on the screen, and there was a sense of everybody's presence, and we'd say, good night everyone, and during Paschal season we'd say Christ is risen, and I pushed the button and everybody would go away, and I would just take the phone down, walk into my dining room, and we would have dinner, and it was easy, and a lot easier than probably it should have been for us to do that. And it's easy to get into that mode. And so I would say, if you're feeling that laziness, let's just call it what it is, that laziness that sort of makes you maybe not want to come to church. It's hard to get back into the mode. Totally get it. I get it. Take your time. Take your time. It's been a hard couple, 2, 3, going on 3 months of all of this. I just encourage you to try. There are plenty of spaces. There are a number of spaces to sign up for services, so that at least you can come back in and maybe take communion, once sooner rather than later, maybe sooner before we get to Pentecost, which is coming up soon. Confession, I'm glad to hear confessions. I would say to you, if the thing that is holding you back right now is that you haven't done confession in a while, and you think to yourself, well, then I can't take communion, and then why bother coming to church? I will rarely say this, but I'll say this now to you all. Just come to church and take communion, and let's work out a time for confession. Confession periods are short right now. We're trying to do very brief ones, but that should actually encourage us to come to confession because we know it won't take long, and that Father James actually has a good bit of time to do this. So I would encourage you just to come to church. For those who are members, who are communing members, come back, find a liturgy where you can come back and take communion. We're doing them on Thursdays. There are 3 Thursdays in May and then in the beginning of June where we are doing liturgies. Sundays we're doing liturgies, Great Vespers on Saturday night. So those are 3 services we're doing during the week. We're not going to do Wednesday night services after this evening, which is May 13th right now. So I want to give you an encouraging word. You know, I get it. It's hard to come back after this. There's a lot of concerns. There are a lot of other issues and feelings. I just want to really just encourage you to think about it, to consider it. We're going to keep doing the services. The church will continue to go on, provided, you know, let's be very honest about it, provided that we have the support and that we can keep things going, both material, financial, you know, participation support, those sorts of things are all necessary. Thank God you've been great these last few months. I mean, our church has just really come forward with all of those things. But think about coming back to church. So, like I said, let me review. If your concern is the fear of the virus, I understand that. You can wear a mask. You can come briefly. You can talk to me about that. Maybe you just want to drop by the church when nobody else is here, and that would help you at least connect, maybe to light a candle. Let me know. Let's work that out. I can do that. I'm around. I can do that. If you're not liking the rules and not wanting to wear a mask and do the other things, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I wish I could do otherwise, but we're not ready for people to come back who are not doing those things. You know, you come in, you got to wash your hands, you got to sign in, you have to be wearing a mask, you need to stay in your spot. We just have to do those things. Our Archbishop has said we have to do them, whether I like them or you like them or not. Okay, we can't help you there. Maybe the third thing, maybe, you know, you've been lazy. Fine, I get it. Take your time. I encourage you to try to fight that a bit. Pick a service, come back, and slowly we'll reintegrate ourselves. And then finally, too, if confession is your concern, just sign up for a liturgy, come and take communion, get reintegrated that way, and then we will set up a time for confession. If you can do confession first, great, let's do that. I'm available, just help me schedule it. Just want to encourage you. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to hold back for reasons that are unworthy. The church is here. We're starting to do services again. Let's start to rejoin that. Let's look towards the future by picking out a service here or there where we can do that. Go online on our Sign Up Genius, take a look at that, consider that, sign up for a date, read the instructions first, you know, sign up for one date at first, and then when things don't fill up, we'll add more to it. That's all I'm saying. I look forward to seeing you in the church building, standing here on the narthex with our icons. I look forward to seeing you here for services. I look forward to a point at which we can start to put away these rules so that we can gather again as a family. It will happen. It will happen. I don't know how long. Could be a very long time. Could be much shorter time. We don't know. Let's be patient. Let's look forward to that day. And let's start signing up and coming back. May God be with you. May He strengthen you. May He encourage you. May He keep you. Christ is risen.